system
Why? Well,
and
why
not the
shouldn't they?
global system.
Why should they have any empathy for the global system? They should always act in their own self-interest. The hope is that everyone's collective self-interest is not mutually exclusive or comes in conflict.
Yes, because
And the
that
way to
that
ensure
hope
that is
is
to
a
try and
lie.
well,
Because
it's
you
it's
cannot
a semi-lie,
there
but
will
well,
yes,
but
I
that's
agree, it is a semi-lie. You cannot have something that is globally decided that will be globally good for everyone.
no. But you can try and maximize that good, and you can try to minimize the amount of influence people have over each other.
Yes, but you won't be able to do that in a true democracy where everyone voice is the same wave.
No, because you can limit the power of the democracy to influence one person's power over another, and in that case,
In
um,
that case, you get the empire.
no, you don't, because the empire gives total control of some power of government to someone who has not been chosen at all by the people, and from my understanding, has quite a lot of influence in the day-to-day lives of people, more so than what you would consider most democracies to have.
No, because you see, in the empires, one person cannot have a global. It is still one person. They don't have the mental capabilities to mess around the life of every system they influence. They
Well,
have a
how are you? How,
global vision of how the things should go from a single individual that is able, hopefully, I agree that there is a bit of hope involved in the matter. So there is some kind of hope in our leader to lead us the right way. That may be the failure of most empire in the past, and maybe the empire right now in elite even worse regarding that the current empress is not really legitimate.
hold on 1 second. I'm having some issues with Firefox. That's what I get for going to a random website I googled.
Now Firefox is getting worse and worse. It is at the point that I am even thinking to re-implement the features that I need from Firefox in an edge-based browser.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, what?
Okay, so tell me this. How I got most of that. I'm sorry. I'm also playing, so I'm trying to semi-concentrate. But how do you argue that ALD, Arissa Lavini Duval, does not have quite direct authoritative control over her subjects in a global sense? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes. I
Okay.
am just thinking of a right way to put my words in.
Did the stream go down? Is the stream still on?
I am watching it. It seems to be fine.
Okay. Maybe because I
You also
restarted, it turned off the stream or something.
no, no. It's right now. It seems to be still going.
Okay,
We
then
have
it's just
what 50
Firefox not wanting to
seconds.
play it.
I don't do I don't have Flash installed in Firefox, so all the Twitch watching that I do is done in Edge. I
Okay.
like Edge.
Okay.
All right. So going back to the subject.
Yeah. Sorry.
Uh, in my opinion, every other faction of the Empire is wrong anyway. So I don't know if that is a right answer for you. But the Empire for me is only the Empress.
Right, but
Everybody else is wrong.
fine. Everyone else
Sim-
is wrong, but how do you defend the Empress and her ability to affect your?
because she has the biggest guns.
Well, that's just a matter of
Except,
okay. So that's not a matter
yes,
of how. That's not a matter of why you support her. That's a matter of how she's able to actually do it. The question I
and that's
ask is
all
why
that
you support it.
matters. Why do I support the Empire? Is because I believe in the philosophical king of Plato. I believe that an enlightened leader is better than a democratic elected leader. But I agree that a lot of times that can go wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of times you can get some kind of leader that is in power just because he's the son of the leader. But then you get the real power play that gets going on. And usually, those kind of leaders that should not be leaders because they are too stupid get removed from power pretty quickly.
I don't know
That's
about that.
why
I don't know about that. I mean, North Korea is a prime
that's
example
why
of a
the
failure of that.
no, the current example is the current state of the empire. The real empress is in power, while the fake empress is still running around
Okay, well
with her
that's
pretty
some
face
nonsense.
and
If we're
no
gonna have a
slavery
semi
and
if we'll have a semi-serious argument, I'll say that North Korea is a fairly strong counterexample to your statement of a
yeah,
a
but here we are
bad.
mixing real life with
Well,
fictional life.
well,
I respect
I'm
that
mixing
role
it because
playing the argument
I'm trying to get a real
because
argument out of you.
if I'm getting the real argument, if I am going back to the real life, I will argue for leaders like Charles de Gaulle in France, or George Washington in the United States, or Queen Victoria in the United Kingdom. Those kind of enlightened leaders, which
Well,
did well for their people,
yeah, but
even if
okay, so they
the
were either
people were
elected
screwed.
and or they had no uh
Now, all the leaders that I mentioned previously were put in place
right.
by their own power.
What the hell? There we go. Sorry.
Not problem.
Okay. Alright. For some reason, I was having a lot of trouble picking a good star there.
And I'm once again back.
Good. We are talking about governing powers.
Just because you can
That
name
would be
good, just
fun.
because you can name good leaders doesn't
Oh, there
justify
were a
your.
lot of wrong leaders before
Yeah.
by
So,
history.
so then one would ask why you would try and give a leader, a person, basically unimpeded perpetual power when it's been shown many a time that you have a mix of both good and bad leaders. Wouldn't you want to keep a system of checks on your leadership,
Because my
on your choosing system?
personal real life belief is that the only power that the people should have is the impeachment power, not the electing power.
The what power?
The people should have the power to say stop, but not the power to say go.
Well, I don't know why you believe that.
Because most of the time, what in my own life, what I could observe from the leaders that I was directly impacted by, the borderline democratic leaders were actually better than the fully democratic leaders that I personally experienced, at least in France and in Mexico. The
So it's
fully
so okay.
democratic leaders usually
So
tend to be elected for stupid
your own
reasons.
personal anecdotal bias is what's skewing your opinion on this, and it doesn't actually have a objective rational basis.
To be fair on that subject, there is no objective rational basis.
There's no objective rational
You
basis,
you
but you can have
you cannot.
a fairly non-personally biased rational argument. Now, I could argue why you believe in something, but I don't know. I mean, basically, you're not giving me a core philosophical opinion for why you believe in it.
Well, if you want my philosophical opinion, is pretty hardcore actually, and it goes back with what we said previously about the average person. The main issue that I have is that
Right, but
You
what?
cannot.
How do you know that the leader chosen by power is not beholden to the same average person problem?
Because usually when people have power, they tend to at least be powerful. Which
Yes.
I know that this sounds a bit stupid, but I'm going to some kind of point. When you have power, you tend to have a better environment around you, thus better. It's mostly applicable in the past, or in the present it is pretty wrong, but in the past, when you had power, you had access to better education for yourself or your descendants, and that was a little bit better. But I agree that right now the cards may be kind of a shuffled. Anyone can, if he is willing, get the knowledge to lead. The real question if he is able, because of democracy, to get that competence on the field and be elected for that competence.
Alright, so here's my problem with this whole thing, I think, and this may be something I should have said earlier and I just didn't. Was that you're arguing basically from a perspective of what gives you the best form of governance. I'm questioning you on that aspect. What really my problem is not necessarily does democracy give you a better form of governance or not, but the democracy gives you a form of governance that is morally justified. And that's the difference between dictatorship or what you would call elevating someone who
Oh,
has
yes.
power.
If
And
you ask in the current moral frame, democracy is better.
okay, so
Because in the current moral
how can you
frame,
be for something that's morally inferior?
because my morality is not based around that what is morally acceptable, if I may word it like that. My morality is based around what I feel is efficient. And if
But
sorry, I know
the
this is on
question is
stream and I
also,
don't.
uh-oh, they're gonna come get you now. Are you allowed to say these things in France?
No, I am allowed. It is mostly that I don't want to poison your stream if there is.
It's
Well,
fine.
to be fair, there is only 7 people watching right now.
Yeah, I think you've scared them all now. They were willing to watch the first 8 hours. It was the fact that it went into 9 hours that they started questioning things.
If you want, I can go deep on my reasoning,
Yeah,
but
go right ahead. Go deep away. We got 2,000 light
Alright.
years to go.
Brace yourselves.
no, no races, only thoughts and people.
No, he said.
Nothing is
There,
based
there
on
is
race.
No,
Or
he
there are
said
no
brace.
there are no braces. There
He
is only
said
zone.
he said brace yourself is what he said. Yeah.
oh, race. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to go to that system. That is my main issue. I don't know how to transition from the current systems to the system that I have in mind.
Okay.
But I have in mind some kind of system. My system is based around some kind of persona, some kind of empire, of emperor system. But the emperor system is only for the external decision, if you see what I mean. It is not meant to rule the day-to-day government. The day-to-day government should work on some kind of political capital system where people do vote, but they don't vote for some person, but they vote for what the party propose to do.
Well, that's how it worked. That is how it works, at least in
No,
America,
no,
for
no.
sure.
Because right now, when people vote for what the party wants to do, it is not binding. Your party can decide in the way to do something completely different.
Oh, I see.